Are we good to go?
Not sure. Looks good.
Looks good. All right. Hi guys, welcome to ADRP Friday Night Live at 5. We're having a few technical issues both here in Melbourne and up north at the secret location that we're going to be crossing to. You can probably see him over my left shoulder. Melbourne weather's very damp, and I think that's having some nasty repercussions on our internet coverage tonight. But that's okay. We'll do the very best we can, and if you have any drama, just pop a question through, and hopefully Nicole or I might be able to answer that on the chat window rather than what's happening. So without much further ado, I'd just like to say welcome to Damian Muscat.
Woo!
How you going, guys?
We're great, Damian. Thank you so much for your time. You, as I posted today, you're very much the man of the moment in Top Fuel Motorcycle.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. We're just doing what we can, and we're having a win.
All right. We're a little bit shaky, so we'll see how we go. When I say man of the moment, you were the new kid on the block coming to the Winter Nationals a little bit. A little bit of an unknown package for those in the sport.
Yes, it was certainly an unknown package. Obviously, yeah, it was all new to us, and we were getting out there, having a bit of a go, and trying to get a handle on our riding techniques and tune-up and all the things that go with it.
Okay, so you might have been a little bit new to the sport, but the bike you've brought over, tell us a little bit about that. It's got some history.
Yeah, the bike has got a lot of good history in Canada and America. Something like the second most decorated Nitro Harley over there, I believe, with 13 championships across Canada and America, sometimes dual championships, between a guy, Ron Hornet, and Damian Muscat, who I bought the bike off. They were both been very successful on the bike.
Okay. Well, speaking of successful on the bike, I mean, you might be the new kid on the block, but a Winter Nationals Gold Christmas tree in your cabinet and a opening round Darwin Andrew Gold Christmas tree in your cabinet. Not a bad effort after your last two outings.
Yeah, no, we couldn't ask for much better. Look, we weren't expecting to do anywhere near as well as that. We're obviously, learning a lot of things. It's just, everything's gelled for us with the help of Damian Muscat from Canada. With a bit of tune-up knowledge over the phone, we've managed to be able to get the thing down the track just nicely, and basically we just, if we can hold that sort of consistency, we'll be in for a good shot for the season.
All right. Now, you ran a PB at the Winter Nationals, is that right?
Yes. The first eliminations, we went 6.351 at 210 mile an hour, which was just a bit of a wow ride. Where did that come from? And we kept it together for the next two rounds. Went 651, I think, in the semis, where we had a bye, and 680 something, I believe, in the final, where we just clenched the win by the skin of our teeth, but it was enough.
A win is a win is a win, they say. So that's 6:35 in round one. How close is that to the national record or the fastest pass in this country?
100th of a second off the national record, which is held by Mark Drew from WA. His record's 6.341, and it was so close, but so close is not good enough. So, but yeah, we weren't expecting to do so well. If it comes again, you little beauty.
And what
I
sort
just
of?
want to interrupt you guys. Please.
Look out!
Sorry, Grant Miller said, "Hiya, mate."
A hiya, mate, from Grant Miller.
Yes, here you go, mate.
And Alf Sharker said, "What's it really like riding on the back wheel at 200 miles per hour? Should I give Top Bike a go?" Oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah, why not? The more competitors, the better. And as for riding on the back wheel, it's just awesome. Yeah, great feeling. You just like being strapped to a rocket ship, and away you go.
So leading on from that, the guy, most of us haven't ever experienced that sort of thing. watching that pass, we were there, we saw it live. This mystique that you guys have got about, we back off at 1,318 feet so that the front wheel falls down and trips the quarter mile timers. You pretty much actually did that on that pass. How do you steer one of these rocket ships when the front wheel isn't on the ground?
Well, it's all about weight and balance, basically. It's very not like riding a normal motorcycle or a bicycle for that matter. A normal motorbike, if you want to go right, you lean your bike to the right. With these big tired bikes, if you lean right, you will go left. So basically, you've got to keep the bike upright, and you've got to hang your body weight to the side you want to go, and it takes a little bit to get your head around that because it's opposite to what you've ever done ever before, and but you soon learn when you're sort of getting a bit close to the wall and the way you think you want to go is not, so it sort of comes to you quickly at that point.
Yeah, I was going to say, for those of us who've grown up riding bicycles or motorbikes, as you put, it's counterintuitive to everything that you would want to naturally do is exactly the opposite to what you need to do.
Yeah, that's it. It just makes it so hard to get your head around all that sort of stuff. But it's one of those things. Once you've sort of done it a couple of times, I guess you never stop learning. It does seem to be easier once you've get your head around it.
Okay. Now, we've talked about the past. You've had 2 great wins in both series in your last 2 outings. I see from behind you, we're going to take a risk and ask you to move the camera up there, and hopefully we won't lose the internet connection. But tell us a little bit about what's happening in the background there in preparation for obviously the first round of the 400 Thunder Series at Sydney in November 4 and 5.
Well, yes, as you can see behind me here, the engine's been completely removed out of the bike. Transmission, drivetrain, the whole works is all being stripped out. The engine's split, ready for the crank bearings. Big end on the crank has been polished. That's just about ready for reassembly. I'll just pan over to some of our parts here.
Now, while you're panning over, we've had Paul Porter from Mackay, so great to see you doing so well.
Thanks, Paul.
Oh, I spotted a sticker. A sticker.
There's an ADRP sticker in the background. I do believe that went on just before your record-breaking run, mate. So I'll be expecting our check in the mail rather than the other way around.
That's it. That was the Go Fast sticker, you think?
I think it was the Go Fast sticker at the Winters. We popped one on John Canooly's funny car the pass before he set a world record. So we may be selling those stickers shortly, I believe.
That's the go.
So you've got a lot of parts there, mate. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Okay, so up this end here, basically this here is our clutch hub, where we do our adjustments of our clutch to get different drive. This is our main drive pulley, and this one here is our clutch cannon. The cannon basically sits on there and holds these fingers from throwing too soon. So as those fingers throw, that applies more pressure to our clutch, which makes our clutch lock up, and away we go. So if you have too much weight on these things and the track hasn't got the stickiness about it, we will just smoke the tyre and pretty much go nowhere. So it's a bit of a fine art to get the right clutch tune up to get the power down to the ground efficiently.
So no different to other nitro vehicles and other blown alcohol applications in a car, that piece we're looking at the moment is probably the most fickle and most important part of the tuner.
Yes, for sure. It's all about getting the power to the ground. You can have as much power in the world as you need or want, but if you can't get it to the ground, it's no good to you.
All right. So how soon are all these parts going to be pushed back into one pile, Damian, and you ready to do a test fire?
Well, I've just got to remember how they all go back together, and we should be in business maybe.
I'm sure that you've got that under control, mate. So Obviously, you run a crane business up north. You've been busy with the offshore powerboats we saw there a weekend or so ago.
Yes.
But you're fitting in time to rebuild this bad boy ready for the first round. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we make time to do a little bit every day and slowly get through it, get our parts ordered, and start piecing back together. Basically, needs to be 100% ready, and because you don't want to have any mishaps when you're on the track.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, mate, but it's 55 days away, so you better get cracking.
Yeah, no, we've got a bit of work here to do, but basically everything's ready to go. We've got all our parts now, and start piecing him back together, and see if we can't get out there and do some consistent fast runs.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We won't take much more of your time. I know you've got a lot to do, but you're just showing us that rear wheel you were speaking about a minute ago, that it's, you know, the big tyre bikes. How big is that tyre?
14-inch, I believe.
14 wide?
Yes.
And looks like it'll be 28 odd high by the look of it.
31.
31. So it's a big tyre.
31 by 14.
Well, just as well you've got all of that Harley horsepower to push it, mate.
Yeah, no, it's certainly a big tyre. Sometimes I think you could do with a little bit more just to get the power down to the ground. But I guess people that are smarter than me dreamt up the idea of how big the tyre should be, and it seems to be working. Is
that about standard across the class, that size tyre?
Yeah, pretty much all the guys run the similar size tyre. Just depends on people's budgets, I guess. How often you want to change your tyre. Some guys put new tyres on every race, and sometimes they have to put them on every race because they basically get shredded.
Okay, all right. Well, I think we've all had a bit of an insight into what a top fuel bike looks naked this afternoon. Thank you so much. We're very, very happy to have had you grace us with your presence. We're all very excited to see how you go in the opening round of 400 Thunder. I think you may have gone into the last race at Sydney, being the Nitro champs, I think it was, as somewhat either of an unknown or an underdog, but I think you're going to have a pretty big target on your back at this event, mate.
Yeah, well, that's racing. That's what we're all there to do. We all want to go fast, and that's what it's all about.
Awesome. All right, again, thank you so much, Dane. We really appreciate everything you're doing for the sport and allowing us to sneak into your lounge room this afternoon.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Well, there you have it, guys. We are very, very privileged to have last two wins, both formats, both what are we calling them? Sanctioning bodies. So Damian's done an incredible job in the last two meetings at Willowbank and at Darwin. Now, before we go tonight, thank you so much for watching Damian, and I hope you all get out to Sydney Raceway to support him. But also a little closer to home, next weekend, the Sandown 500 here in Melbourne. ADRP will be having its Rockstar display. I'll just get rid of all of what's going on my screen. I'm sorry. And we have another ADRP Rockstars of Drag Racing showcase going on at Sandown to bring drag racing to a whole nother community, a whole new bunch of spectators. We're going to be again graced by the Mags Family Racing Top Alcohol Dragster, which we're super excited to have. We've got a new guy coming, Ben Handerick. I hope I've pronounced that correct, Ben. He's absolutely gorgeous, nitrous, top sportsman sort of Nova. Hasn't been seen a lot yet. Very pretty car, and honestly one of my visual favourites. So if you are in the neighbourhood, I'd suggest you come down and check it out. It's a gorgeous car. Peter Alexander is going to join us with his APSA Camaro. Again, another first timer for our Rockstar displays, and a bit of diversity. And being V8 supercar, something the guys are probably going to be able to relate to. but Peter's car with a whole bunch more horsepower than anything else out there that they'll have going around. Rob Taylor in his Mad Professor door slam is going to make an appearance for us as well. Beautifully turned out car and transporter. I think Rob's going to go pretty hard this year. He's pushing into a couple of new brackets as well, so we'll be interested to maybe have a bit of a chat with him while we're there. Our MotorX star, Rochelle Splatt, is going to bring the Top Fuel dragster out for Rochelle Splatt Racing, and everybody knows who she is. She's the Queen of Speed, the first lady to go 300 mile an hour, last of the 300 mile an hour Slick 50 Club. So it'll be great to have Rochelle there and talking with the fans and getting everybody on board. Spud Russell, Justin Russell, in that gorgeous supercharged Outlaw Camaro, is going to make his debut as a ADRP Rockstar. So we're very much looking forward to that, another beautiful motor vehicle. And Mike Drahar, after a great effort, Mike showing the crowd at MotorX what supercharged Outlaw looks like, sounds like, and can have a lot of fun with, will be also making his Rockstar debut other than the MotorX show. At the moment, that's all we've got confirmed. We might have a couple more coming. We're not sure yet. The guys, it's a busy time of year. Everyone's getting ready for the start of the season, and it's always a balancing act between getting the cars out there in front of people and being ready to be able to race. So please come down to Sandown. I think it'll be a great display of drag racing. We're very grateful to Eric at Mosque, Melbourne Old School Cruisers, for enabling us to come along as part of his display and really get the word out there about drag racing. Thanks, guys. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's Live at 5 from ADRP, and we look forward to speaking to you Monday after a great weekend. Take care.